It's like the whole, any individual senator might have an approval rating of like 50%, but the Senate as a whole has an approval rating of 11%. I think
Yeah.
everybody has an understanding of some kind of like nebulous government corruption that they disapprove of. The problem is that everyone points it like it's in the other direction, Oh, yeah, the nebulous government corruption, they're doing it. They're doing it. There's not really much consistency. Insider trading, the average American doesn't know what insider trading is. They have no clue. Um,
Right.
Yeah.
they'll
Yeah.
they'll they'll believe what they're taught. They'll believe if they trust the pundit, if they think the TV anchor is handsome. In terms of like a cohesive understanding of what can be done to fix this or like who's actually at fault, I don't think that any of them know. And for that you need to focus on like simple messaging. And what the Republicans have done is they've completely consolidated their message behind being fucking dishonest and fascists. But that is a message. Whereas for the Democrats, it's like there is nothing they can say about Republicans while being honest that does not either in some way impugn them or
Exactly.
it suggests some kind of revolutionary or radical sentiment. Because if you start attacking Republicans for being fascist insurrectionaries and then like start going after them with like sedition arrests or whatever, which would be based in red pilled, they would be doing that in a fashion which kind of implicates their collaboration with Republicans for the past like half century. There's the system as it is right now just does not permit Democrats to do anything without like kind of betraying their greater interests. So, here we are, I guess.
The Republicans are more democratic in their electoral
They
process.
have one rule.
Internally, they actually are. That is
Yeah.
absolutely true. They're actually willing to shake things up because they're terrified of their base. Democrats hate their base. They don't give a fuck about them. Republicans also hate their base, but they're terrified of them. It's a very different kind of disdain. There was that report on like the Tea Party or whatever. Republicans
Yeah.
will literally like catapult their party in whatever direction they think will appeal to like racist old white people. Whatever kind of old white racism is going on right now, whatever's in vogue, they will like panic, flop sweating. They'll be like, okay, wait, what do we got to do? What do we got to do? Running around like whatever they can do to appeal to them. There was that bombshell report that was done on Facebook like 8 months ago, where it was like the way that they conduct moderation for Facebook was a bunch of
Right.
European far right parties actually moved farther right because their constituencies on Facebook had gotten so radical because of the way content was recommended to them that the parties themselves were being moved to the right to keep up with the belief systems of the people who were voting for them, which is insane.
Right. So it's a vicious cycle of pushing further and further to the right. And unfortunately, we don't have something like that on the left. And I think it's really ignorant to think that we're going to really get anywhere without some level of violence. And when people are like Nancy Pelosi is wondering, why would someone break into my house? Oh, gee, I don't know, Marie Antoinette. Why would somebody break into your house? I think we're going to start seeing it more and more.
Well, that's the
Again,
problem.
I'm not
That
doing
guy,
it.
that guy didn't break into her house because he has a problem with insider trading. That guy broke into her house because he's a lunatic who was groomed by far right propaganda, and that's the issue. Regardless of the ethics of it, it is actually really effective to just, I don't know, heighten the schizophrenic tendencies of your voter base by facilitating a nonstop 24/7 media news cycle about like QAnon adjacent propagandizing, and then just like let the craziest people do what they will. That's so much easier than radicalizing people based on something real, like insider trading or like ineffective resistance against fascist collusion. Those things, like real shit, does not always beget more real reactions. In fact, oftentimes it's the opposite. The fake problems get the most attention. The
You
satanic panic with the fucking hair metal
Yeah.
albums played in reverse revealing satanic messages, that makes its way up to Congress. Meanwhile, like 1,000 real strikes are squashed and unions busted. It's so difficult, I think, to get like the energy of the kinds of people who are radicalized by QAnon combined with the truth and the honest reporting and the I guess like responsible engagement that you would get from the kind of production that you would ever want to be involved in. It's really difficult to blend those two, and I don't know if anyone does it successfully. Genuinely, it's really tough to do that.
I truly believe this, Vosh. I believe that one of the reasons why a lot of people have a lot of young people, especially a lot of young entrepreneurial, independent-minded people are gravitating towards the GOP. Their attitude has basically become, well, I can't fix the system, I can't change it, so I might as well go to the party that actually wants to help me succeed. Like,
No,
I
this
think that's in part and parcel the
this is
mindset that a lot of them take
the
on.
Peter Thiel line. This is like the modern Silicon Valley fascist bit, where it's like they're not ideologically fascist in the sense of like blood for land, you know, glory to the fatherland, whatever, but more so they see America like a failing startup. And what you do with a failing startup is you clear out management and you get a new go-getter up there on top. A lot of people think that authoritarianism means getting shit done. In reality, it often doesn't. Bureaucratic and managerial subsystems tend to fail in authoritarian regimes. A lot of things get gummed up, but they're very good at making a show of the couple of things that do end up getting pushed through really quickly. Because, of
Yeah.
course, you know, transcending democracy means you can get stuff done faster, of course. You're skipping deliberation. And they're really good at weaponizing that politically. And I completely agree. Democrats have fully abandoned this line. The idea of like we are go-getters who will get stuff done, gone. Democrats don't even bother. It's done. It's dead. That idea is just not something they care about selling people on, and that's what people want to hear right now. It's what I want to hear. You know, I want to believe, even if it's a fucking Democrat. You know, I want to believe that when I vote for somebody, they're going to be like an activist in office. They're going to sit there and they're going to take their time to, in every way possible, promote the values I voted them in for. And but Democrats, it's just, you know, hey, don't worry about it. We've been doing this for a long time, and we're going to keep doing it the way it's going because it's going fine. Wink. And that just doesn't sell with anyone anymore. I'm sorry, I'm rambling, but I do feel this way.
No, it's the problem. There's no real choice.
I think focusing on policies, focusing on this coalition building, and especially something like a ballot initiative, that's what works here in Florida. The best things we get in Florida are ballot initiatives.
It's gonna fucking say, I'm so sorry. I was gonna say that earlier. One of the biggest indictments against Democrats is the fact that if you put policies on the table, America is in favor of Democrat-aligned policies 2-1 almost every time. The fact that Kansas fucking shot down that state constitutional amendment to allow for abortion bans while voting in Republicans across the board is such a disgusting indictment of Democrats, because it means that when you strip Democrats away from Democrat policy, all of a sudden it's an uncontroversial win. Republicans win elections despite a minority of the country caring about their policies, and Democrats lose elections despite a majority of people in the country caring about their policies. It's insane. This should be a layup for them. You know, I know that Republicans have been increasingly upset over the past half century because every passing decade, all of the degeneracy they fight against becomes more and more popular. And that's great and that's fun at all. But the fact that all you have to do to sell people on Democratic policy is not bring in the Democrats is such an indictment of them as a party. And it's like, it is, if ever there was an ability to do a party-wide, like, vote of no confidence, they have fucking earned it. They find it's incredible. They find ways to make good things seem unappealing almost every time to a lot of Americans. Phenomenal stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, and I've also meant to say, as long as I'm rambling, that a lot of this also comes down to media spread. Democrats don't have any way to get their messaging out, if they even had a message they wanted to share, which is its own problem. But outside of that, like in terms of television, the Republicans, you know, Tucker Carlson, whatever bullshit, most popular on TV. In terms of the internet, TikTok, owned by China, kind of a wash there, but they do ban gay people for being gay, so that's not great. Twitter, currently owned by a far-right lunatic, Elon Musk. Facebook and Instagram, owned by Zuckerberg. Also, Facebook, far-right hellhole, you know. In terms of, like, publications, left-wing publications online have a paywall that you need a subscription. Right-wing publications don't. At every level, they're just better at getting their message out there.